Hello, this is Jess. This is chat session number 142, March 22nd, 2018, Thursday, about 5 p.m. I've taken the day off today, so just sort of tired and not wanting to work today, so I just called in. We're going to go right into the, and I don't recommend doing that. I don't, matter of fact, in 2 years, you probably count the times I've missed work like this many. I just don't miss work, but I'm just sort of bummed out a little bit, burned out, whatever, so I'm taking the day off. Going to go right into the tidbits of history. The Stamp Act, 1765. The Stamp Act was imposed on the American colonists after the 7-year war for the French War. The new acquired colonies were under British control, and they started figuring out they could levy different taxes on them to make revenue for the crown and the British Empire. And basically what this tax did is it put a tax on all printed materials, from newspapers to pamphlets to playing cards and dice. There was 3 other taxes imposed at the time. One of them I remember was the Sugar Act, and there was a couple of others that people were pissed off about it. They were mad about it. Yeah, one of them was like some kind of quarter act for they had to house British soldiers when they were there on maneuvers or there on checking stuff out, going through the towns. They had to house them. But this Stamp Act, led to the first rebellious nature of the crown sovereignty. People started to get upset and angry about it. This thing about taxation without representation started kicking in, and it led, of course, to all the people being so angry, and all of them down in the colonies and stuff, and that it led to, of course, what we now call the American Revolution. And this tax was like one of the first noticeable changes in the way people were viewing Britain and our colonies, and they wanted their freedom, and this Stamp Act started that. Alright, now on to bands that begin with the letter P. Pantera, Peter Gabriel, Peter Frampton, Prince, Primus, Patsy Cline, Perry Como, Pensive, Pablo Cruz, Philip Sousa, and Paul Gilbert. I'm sure there's others. I'm just not thinking about them all right at this moment, but those are the ones that I could remember and brought up in my mind, and there they are. Neil, you've been on me, keeping track of my mental shortcomings concerning bands, but I'm getting better. And I appreciate your participation in the comments and all that stuff. It's what I'm trying to do, just get some stuff going, with people about different things. And right now it's about music. Okay, let's get on to other stuff. We're talking about our government, American Revolution and all that stuff, and I don't want to be political, because it's just boring. I mean, it has definitely become a circus. I have my bag of popcorn, and every day it's amazing. I've totally distanced myself from being a boring person that's all they talk about is politics, but politics affect everything in our daily lives, whether we want to admit it or not. But we just have these knuckleheads that, first of all, I saw an article about some senator from, where was he from? I want to say Maine or I don't want to be misspoken, so I won't say where he's from, but it was one of the people that are in our government, and he said that the elderly people were like had been sucking on this one pig with 130 million teats on it, and he said that they were just rude and thought they deserved everything. And this lady wrote in to his, I guess, whoever the people that take the calls and stuff for the elected officials, and I guess wrote this letter, and she went off on him, and she basically said, you know, you've been in our government for 30 something years. How long have you been on the tit? You know, the of the government, of the taxpayer, you know, money and stuff. And how entitled do you think you are? And she went through this whole program of different 1, 2, 3, 4, lined it out, and she was right. First of all, Social Security was put in place and not to be touched. Excuse me. It was his own private fund that was just for the elderly when they retire, for people that reach retirement age. And she went off about that too, about how they keep pushing the age back for retirement to get your benefits. And she said the same thing about Medicaid. They had, you know, whoever, I don't know which president it was, but they passed the thing they can just dip in there and put it towards other stuff. And now they're talking about cutting Medicaid, cutting, you know, Social Security, when the majority of people that even see this tape or American citizens in general that work, you're paying Medicaid, you're paying Social Security every dang time. And for what? For them to, these elected officials, to spend and make crazy decisions with our money and bankrupt our government to the point that they got to dip into these funds and say, oh, we're going to put it back, we're going to put it back. Well, they never do. And now they're saying, oh, it's an entitlement program, we got to cut it. It's costing us too much money. Man, if you're telling me that Social Security is an entitlement, take it, get it, just go, stop taking the money out of my check. I don't want it. Stop taking money out from Medicare. I don't want it. If you're going to sit there and toy with something that I'm paying into that I deserve to get at the end of the day when I retire, if I live that long, take it out of my check. Just quit, stop doing it. If it's an entitlement program, I'm not going to participate. If it's guaranteed for me when I get old enough and I need it and I'm going to retire and I need that check, it'll be there, that's a different story. But if they can take it and manipulate it and say, we got to cut it, the payments that you're getting, blah, 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 that has got to be the sorriest way to treat people. You take money from them all their life and their jobs, they work, you take money from them. And then when it's time for them to get that money back in payments for their retirement years because they can't work, they're too old or whatever, or something happens, they got to have money to live. And by the way, it's not very much. And then they talk about, oh, we got to cut the payments that you're going to get. We're going to cut the coverage that you get for the medical. Come on, man. Stop taking it out of my check. That is such a horrible way to treat the elderly who've worked all their life to me. All those people that are probably in that Congress and the government or from the corporations that are paying them money, made those people rich. And now they want to take what little bit they give back that you paid for yourself. That is, I hope that people understand that. Social Security is for retirement only. It was designed that way. Medicare was for medical, for the elderly, and now they've got their hands on it, the government, and they're taking it, they're putting it somewhere else because they didn't know how to budget or whatever. They're overspending. They're buying one of Trump's department people, the 4 doorways into his office, $139,000. Give me a break. They're cutting all these agencies down. They're trimming budgets. And these people that are running the departments are just out of control, spending money. It is insane to me. What has become of what it is to be American? It's not about guns. It's not about... It is about a government out of control. Period. And it's time for action from us, the people, to get that shit straight. It's not about guns. It's not about Trump having an affair with whoever the hell. It's not about anything except government out of control, not representing the people. They're taxing the crap out of us. Taxation without representation. We're back to that. There was a revolution fought over it. I sure hope there's not another one coming, because it's going to be ugly. But if that's what it's going to take, I'm telling you now that enough's enough with this. They're the entitled ones. They think that because they're elected into office, they can just take, spin, have lavish lifestyle on our dollar. It is time for a change. This is Jess. Be truthful, be happy. Let's look out for each other, okay? I'm not mad at anybody. I'm just so frustrated with the games that these people that are in office. Oh yeah, that lady said this. I've been paying into the system for 42 years and you want to take it away from me? That is so sad. Her Social Security, they want to reduce her benefits, her payment. That she paid it for 42 years. Wow. It's time for a change. Have a great Thursday. Bye.